coming at you guys with yet another Atlanta Falcons video. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button until you finish come to Falcons football with your boy. Atlanta Falcons news for you guys. I actually got a couple of topics for you guys, so you might want to enjoy, sit down and enjoy it. Because I got something to talk. You guys might want to actually read the absolute top of this particular video screen. All right, just read that. It says, read if you can, and it's okay to listen. I'll explain that later on during the show. But here are a couple of news updates for you guys. The first one, obviously, is Damar Hamlin. He is getting better. From what we know, his lungs are improving. His organs are improving. He's definitely improving. It's come from not only the University of Cincinnati Medical, the NFL, the Buffalo Bills, his family. So he definitely is improving. So that's always a good thing. Also, some great news for a couple of former Atlanta Falcons players. The first one, gotta give shout out to this. Devin Hester. Devin Hester could quite possibly be a Hall of Famer. He's a finalist along with Dwight Freeney. Both those guys are finalists for the Hall of Fame. Hopefully these guys are able to get in, man, so we can have a little bit more to, to brag about as far as these Atlanta Falcons news is concerned. Well, as far as just being an Atlanta Falcons fan is concerned. It's always tough being Atlanta Falcons fans. Motherfuckers are always hating on us. The news, the national media is always, hell, even the local media and the local creators, they always hating on us. So this is always a good thing to get, some good news. So hopefully we can get some great news. Both those guys get in the Hall of Fame, Dwight Freeney and Devin Hester. So hopefully, fingers crossed, get these guys in. But the big news out of the NFL Atlanta Falcons camp right now, this has come via Michael Rothstein. Now you can take this for what you want. Me personally, I don't necessarily. I think it's about 70-30. But I'll read it here. Michael Rothstein asks Dean Pease if he plans on returning 2023. His statement, "We'll see after the season." Pease said he'll talk with his wife before making that decision. And I don't know if there's something to worry about. I know for a fact that the Falcons, when you look at this team, they obviously have a plan, okay? Let's just make it clear. I don't think these guys don't have a plan. I think even if it were to come down to whether or not he is thinking of retiring, the Falcons will still be okay, all right? The Falcons have talent. The Falcons have players around. But one thing I would say, if Dean Pease decides to retire, this is just my own personal opinion, and kind of piggybacking off of an incident that that happened earlier, about a couple of weeks ago. Well, Grady Jarrett just said that he wants to win. I think this would definitely put the strain on whether or not Grady Jarrett is thinking. If he is indeed thinking of, requesting a trade, or he no longer wants to be on the Atlanta Falcons team, if Dean Pease decides he wants to retire, I think for the most part that would severely put a damper on bringing back Grady Jarrett. I think the Falcons would definitely have to, strongly consider whether or not Grady Jarrett is going to be with the Atlanta Falcons because, like I said, Grady may not want to have to start over with another defensive coordinator. Now, if there's a guy on the staff that Grady Jarrett really believes in, he believes in his defense, if he believes in Dean Pease in itself, I think that is something that we all can say without a shadow of a doubt, that would definitely put a strain on the relationship with Grady Jarrett. I don't think a guy that has been to the promised land, that has been to the Super Bowl, that has been through several defensive coordinators, that been through the ups and downs of this franchise and the ups and downs of the NFL, I don't think Grady Jarrett would be too keen on having to start over with another defensive coordinator. That's just my personal opinion. Grady Jarrett may believe in Arthur Smith in itself. Grady Jarrett may believe in Dean Pease itself. I don't know. At the end of the day, I think if Dean Pease decides to retire, I think we can start up the trade rumors and start up the trade talk when it comes down to Grady Jarrett. Granted that the Falcons do have him locked for at least 2 to 3 more years. The Falcons are they're pretty good when it comes down to the dead cap hit. They're pretty good when it comes down to the money that they have tied up in the next couple of years. They're good. They still have a long ways to go. But like I said, man, it's just, like I said, this is my personal opinion. If he decides to retire, I think we can pretty much kiss Grady Jarrett goodbye. Just gonna be real about that. I just don't think Grady Jarrett can sit back unless we bring back somebody like a Bill Belichick. We bring a guy that has been to the promised land and he has a resume like Dean Pease. I don't think Grady Jarrett is gonna want to stick around for that. I really don't think he's gonna stick around for that. If Dean Pease is strongly considering retiring. I want to know what you guys think about that. Leave your comments below when it comes down to if Dean Pease decide to retire. But, we do several scenarios when it comes down to AFN Mad Mike Sports. We talk about the ifs, we talk about the good and the bad. That was the bad. Now, the good of this situation, I don't think Dean Pease is going to retire. The way that he started this season, as far as him really wanting to turn this organization around and turn these guys into a defensive, more of a defensive-minded team, that the Falcons want to be able to come in and, just set a solid foundation of defense. Now, this is what the Atlanta Falcons have wanted for quite some time, for the last couple of years. This is the reason why they hired Dan Quinn. It didn't go the way that we expected, but the Falcons are committed to the defensive side of the ball. All right, they're committed to creating a defense that can get stops. All right, so that's the thing when it comes down to whether or not Dean Pease, he does retire. I don't think he will retire. I think he's still committed to the process. Now, the man is, I think he's 73 years old. It could quite possibly be a matter of he's just tired. He just went, he had an incident where he got hit on the sideline while he was playing the game, and he had to have a brief a stint at the hospital, so that could have played a part in him. And like I said, the man is 73 years old. Sometimes you want to do something at 73, And sometimes you don't want to do some at 73. The guy's 73 years old. He's been in the league for quite some time, and quite frankly, man, like I said, he might have just, you know, I hate to say it, but he probably just had enough of just football. Sometimes you think you want to commit to something, and then, you know, you get older and you realize it's not, you know, it's no longer a burning passion for you anymore. I don't know this to be true, but he's 73 years old. It could quite possibly be the case. Now, I know a lot of Falcons fans are going to be saying to themselves two things. One, oh, here we go again. The Falcons can't ever get anything right. They always bring in guys that's going to quit on the team. I don't think this is one of those situations. Dean Pease, he did exactly what he was supposed to do. Come here, set a foundation, and he did exactly that. It's up to the Atlanta Falcons if he decides to retire, and rightfully so. This man has been in the game for 30, 40 plus years. He deserves to retire, and like I said, he's been one of the best. He's going to continue to be one of the greatest defensive coordinators that this game has seen. He got several championships just based on his works. So I don't think, one, that he quit on the team, and two, we're looking at, I've seen comments already at this point where we see a guy, where people say to themselves, well, good, he needs to go. We don't need these old guys. We need younger, fresher minds. And this is one of the stupidest. This is why I say that this has to stop. Just because you're younger don't mean you're smarter. Okay? I want to make that clear. Just because you're younger doesn't make you smart. Just because you're younger doesn't mean you understand what's going on and the trends in the NFL. I see this time and time again. Well, we need to get younger and fresher talent and younger, fresher minds. Well, guess what? Most of these young, fresh minds aren't doing much of anything right now. Okay? You think what Miami is doing is something that we've never seen before? They went out and spent $100 million freaking dollars. Okay? They went out to spend $100 freaking million to run a system that Kyle Shanahan has been running for 20 years. It's nothing smart about that. It's nothing smart about what the young gun in Los Angeles is doing. They went out and spent a ton of money. That does not take intelligence, okay? It doesn't take intelligence to go out and spend a ton of money, bring in the best talent, bring in the Tyreek Hill, trade for this person and that person. There's nothing intelligent about that. Anybody with a football mind can go out and spend a bunch of money for the best talent. So when it all comes down to it, do we have to go out and get a younger, fresh mind? I don't think so. I think at the end of the day, man, it really depends on the particular scheme that you're looking for. You got guys like Dan Campbell with the energy. He's been in the game for quite some time. He's a guy with a hell of a resume. So he does a great job of getting his team amped. It really is just a message, man. And we see it all the time. Some of the best coaches right now in the NFL has been in the league for 20 plus years. Kyle Shanahan, a lot of people think he's a young gun, but he's not. Kyle Shanahan been coaching ever since he was in his 20s. The dude's like 40-something years old now, near 50. Okay? These guys have had years and years of experience. There's a reason why Sean McVay is starting to lose his touch. There's nothing smart about him. There's nothing smart about Sean McVay. I'm not saying that he's a bad play call. I'm not saying he's a bad coach. But what he's doing, you can get that from any offensive mind or coach in the NFL. And I know I'm probably going to get a lot of Rams fans coming at me, but it's nothing smarter what he's doing. Throwing the ball 50, 150 times a year, or calling plays that's going to get you 150 receptions for a Cooper Cup. Nothing really smart about that. We've seen that with many coaches. I mean, we see it with Dirk Cutter. All he wanted to do is throw the ball to Julio and Calvin. Didn't want to run the ball, didn't want to create balance, didn't want to build the offensive line. All they would do was just throw to those same guys and run those guys into the ground. There's nothing smart about that. So when it all comes down to it, just because you're younger doesn't necessarily mean it's better. But I want to know if you guys have some young, older guys that's been in the game for quite some time to, perhaps if Dean Pease decide to retire, and like I said, the man's 73 years old. He can wake up today and just say, look, man, I thought I wanted to play. I thought I wanted to coach. And I just my flame is just burning out. Sometimes that just happens. It happens to the best of us. No matter how young or how old you are. But the man's 73 years old. Sometimes, you don't have the energy to do what you thought you did. The love for the game continues to stay there, but doing the traveling, being away from your family, being away from your grandkids, being away from your wife, he may wants to just put an end to it. But it's just a statement. This is a statement that every coach at the end of the year, these guys answer the exact same way. All right? When they ask, are you going to come back in 2023? Once you start getting up in the age of a Dean Pease, Pete Carroll, Bill Belichick, you wonder when these guys are going to finally call it quits. It could be any time. You know what I'm saying? It could be any time where these guys decide that they're going to retire. So, like I said, I'm not putting too much stock into this, man. Like I said, it's about 60-40, 60% that he could stay and 40% that he'll end up retiring. And like I said, let's just be honest about it. The man's 70-something years old, man. 70-something years old. It's not guaranteed that he's going to be with the Atlanta Falcons. So if you guys have any questions right now, leave them questions. Let me go over a few comments, man. Raymond L, Jamarius, Big Ant. Matt Mike for defensive coordinator. Oh, hell nah. I'm good. I ain't cut out for that. I'm not that smart. Nah, I'm not that smart. I can help. Okay, I'm gonna be real. I can help, but I'm not that smart. I can help evaluate talent. I can do that, but no, actually being coach, nah. It's much more difficult to be a coach than a lot of people think. It's not easy. It's not an easy job at all. Had Chad, man, Mike as DC as long as he live streams game. Yeah, I don't know if y'all like that. I don't know if people like that. If I became a defensive coordinator, yeah, you probably wouldn't get any more updates and live and live streams if that were to happen. Wait, isn't golf in the playoff mix? McVay took Jared Goff to the Super. Man, get out of here with that nonsense. He took Jared to the golf. No, the defense took him to the. the Super Bowl. Okay? It's Jared Goff. You have one of the greatest defensive linemen to ever play the game, and you're going to say that he took them. He could have had any quarterback. Jared Goff is absolute ass, bro. Yeah, he's gotten better in Detroit because they have more of a balanced offense, but even when they got to the playoffs, Jared Goff was playing like pure T ass, okay? I think y'all, because a guy win a Super Bowl don't mean he's smart. Okay? Just because he got them to a Super Bowl doesn't mean McVay is actually a good coach. He inherited a great, talented team. And then on top of that, those guys went out and traded every draft pick they possibly had to get even more talent to surround a Cooper Kupp, to surround a Aaron Donald. So let's not pretend like McVay had to do anything extraordinary as a coach. Let's keep that real. I'm not saying that he's terrible, but he didn't do anything spectacular. Because if that was the case, he would have turned Matt Stafford into an insane elite quarterback. Matt Stafford is already a good one, but he didn't really do much to improve what Matt Stafford was. Matt Stafford played like he played in in Detroit, when he played with the Rams. Nothing really got better. Not a dang on thing got better with Matt Stafford. And in fact, when you look at Jared Goff actually got worse when it came down to him playing with Sean McVay in LA. Now you see him playing a lot better with Dan Campbell in Detroit than he did with LA. Why is that? Answer that question. Why is Jared Goff playing much better with lesser talent in Detroit than he did with the Rams on Sean McVay? They can't develop talent. He's not a good coach. Okay? Keep that real. Sean McVay is not a good coach. Well, let me say this. He's not an elite coach. He's not a great coach. He's a good guy. He's a good coach. He's a guy that's just going to get the job done. He's not going to turn your guys into no superstars. He's not going to make the offense 10 times better. He's not going to make the defense better. He's not going to develop a talent. He's not going to develop an offensive star. Because if you look at it, what has he done for the offensive line? Not much. What has he done for the running backs? Not much. What has he done to the wide receiver corps? Well, he already had two guys that were already established. Odell Beckham Jr. and Cooper Kupp. They were already established. Cooper Kupp is Cooper Kupp. He's a freak of nature. Like I said, outside of those two, outside of Odell Beckham Jr. and Cooper Kupp, what has he really done? Robert Woods? It's like, what has he done outside of that? He's done pretty much nothing. He's developed nothing. So these are the things we talk about. Like you got to be honest with yourself. When you look at how, let's just say for instance, everybody say, all right, let's look at Arthur Smith, and this is what we talk about. Why I think anybody who says that he deserves to be on the hot seat to be fired is a moron, is because he's turned guys that were previously bust into serviceable, and I mean serviceable at the absolute least. Okay? What has he done for Caleb Huntley. Caleb Huntley was on the verge of being out of the NFL. He turned him to a serviceable running back. What has he done for a 5th round pick in Tyler Algier? Perhaps going to be the leading rusher in Falcons history. What has he done for a guy like Chris Lindstrom? He's turned him into a Pro Bowler now. Drake London, steadily improving. Marcus Mariota had a pretty good year. It wasn't outrageous, but he turned Marcus Mariota to somebody that nobody wanted. To at least somebody may think about signing him. It's like you can see the progress when it comes down to Arthur Smith. When you look at the Rams, who can we really say that he helped develop and turn them into something better? Everybody who leaves the Rams get worse. Worse than what they already were. Jalen Ramsey. So, like I said, these are the absolute truths about things. So, like Sean McVay is okay, but he's one of those coaches that had, a great opportunity where he just had great players. He was fortunate to have great players around him. He hasn't really developed anything. He said Ramsey was better with Jacksonville. Of course he was. That's what I mean. You can see the progress with Arthur Smith. You can't see the progress with a guy like Sean McVay. Outside of seeing, Cooper Kupp with 150-yard catching and 1,600 yards receiving every year. Like, what else could you really say that Ram offense has done special? The Falcons have rushed for over 2,000, I think, like 2,500 yards this year. We talk about a team that has rushed for over about 2,000 yards this year. Caleb McGarry is in position to get him a mega contract, or at least a big contract at right tackle because of a guy like Arthur Smith, who is an offensive lineman himself, and he calls plays to help develop offensive linemen. Running backs, tight ends. The man had Felipe Franks playing tight end, and he was doing a good job of blocking. And the Rams running game, like I said, it's been absolutely atrocious. That running game is trash, bro. They had Sony Michel. They've had so many running back there, and every last one of them has gotten worse. The Pease retires a guy I could see taking over. DC is already on the coaching staff, Frank Bush. He took over when Pease went down on the field. He's not a good enough, he's not a big enough name. I think the Falcons are looking. See, this is where I stated earlier, I don't know, J-Dog, I don't know if you said earlier, you got to bring in a guy that Grady Jarrett is going to respect. Because right now what you don't want is to take a step back on defensive side of the ball. Right now, Grady Jarrett is still the best player on the Atlanta Falcons team. Defense, excuse me. Grady Jarrett is still the best player on this Atlanta Falcons defense. And I'm sorry, Frank Bush is not going to keep him here. If Grady Jarrett respects Dean Pease, and then Dean Pease retires, and Arthur Smith decides he wanted the guy to take over is Frank Bush, Grady Jarrett going to be looking at him like, what the hell have you ever done? How are you going to keep Grady Jarrett here by saying Frank Bush is our defensive coordinator. Not to say that Grady Jarrett disrespect, he doesn't believe in him, but Grady wants to win. Grady Jarrett wants to win. And it's my humble opinion, I don't think Frank Bush is good enough to keep a Grady Jarrett here. Now, this could happen. We could hire Frank Bush, but you could say to Grady Jarrett, no, we can't bring in a top defensive coordinator, but we could help bring in more talent to get you help. Now, we could definitely do that. That's something that you can kind of, work around that type of thing. But like I said, me personally, I don't think, boy, y'all got to get your head. Learn to comprehend, okay? Learn to comprehend, people. I'm going to need you guys to go back to elementary school to comprehend. Learn to listen, okay? Don't listen to a fucking name. Listen to what I'm saying. Jesus freaking Christ. I don't know how many times that we've had to say this over and over again. Slow down and comprehend what we're trying to say. Get your head out of your ass and stop looking at the person's name and saying, oh, you're stupid for bringing up. This is the same reason why people are capping, saying, oh, here you go again, Mike. You're saying that Lamar Jackson and Marcus Mariota the same talent. No, we never said that. Comprehension is not a gift that everybody has, I see. So learn to listen. Let me say this again. This is no disrespect, but learn to comprehend. Slow down and try to understand what we're saying and stop looking at the words or the person. Learn to comprehend what we're trying to say. When I brought up Felipe Frank's name, I didn't say Felipe Franks was a great player. I said, if you look at what he's done, he turned a quarterback into a tight end that was a serviceable blocker. Do you know any other coach in the league that could have done that? Do you know any other coach in the league that has done that? That has turned a quarterback, with the exception of Sean Payton, can we say that a coach that has turned a quarterback into a serviceable player outside of his true position? No, we cannot. That's what we're saying. So try to comprehend, people. It's okay to slow down. Stop looking at the name and running with it. I didn't say Felipe was a superstar. I didn't say he was a great player. I said he was a serviceable blocker. Name a quarterback in the league that you know is a serviceable blocker and he plays on the line against defensive talent. And we're talking about elite defensive talent. He's blocking defensive linemen. He's blocking defensive ends. He's blocking linebackers. And we owe that to who? Arthur Smith. So learn to comprehend, people. Jesus Christ. Super Contra 85. Okay, just learn to comprehend. This is what we talk about. Comprehension is not a gift that everybody was born with, I see. Jeez, bro. Not everybody's going to be superstars in the NFL. Not everybody's going to be a Tom Brady. Not everybody's going to be a LaDainian Tomlinson or Michael Vick or Matt Ryan. Everybody has a place and a part to play on the team. This is why we have kickers. This is why we have punters. This is why we have long snappers. They do their particular, they are asked to do their one job the best they possibly can. Felipe was brought in here to be a tight end to help block. Caleb Huntley was asked to come in and do one thing: run the damn ball, get big plays with his legs. That's what he does well. Tyler Algier was asked to do one damn thing: be a battering ram. We didn't ask him to come in and be Alvin Kamara and catch the ball out of the backfield. We brought him in here to do one thing: to run the damn ball hard. So this is what we mean about just slowing down and try to comprehend what we're saying. Every player has one particular job. Oh, we're not gonna talk. See, that's a whole nother thing too. Like I don't even know why I had to even just clarify Felipe Franks. Like, Jesus Christ. All you heard was Felipe Franks say, "Here you go, Mike Reachin, he said he's a good player." No, I didn't say that. Okay. You hear a word, you hear a player, and then you just run with it. Good gosh. Mafia, how you doing, people? Like I said, everybody has one particular job, bro. You got pass catchers, you got blockers, you got kickers, you got long snappers, you got fullbacks. Their only job is to hit a motherfucker in the face and keep hitting them in the face. That's what Keith Smith's job is to keep hitting people in the damn face. Parker Hesse's job is to keep hitting people in the face, hit them again, and then 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 occasionally you'll get a pass thrown to you. This is what these guys' jobs are. So not every player is going to have the same responsibility. A lot of coaches are hoping that these guys can become more than what they are, or more than what you drafted these guys for. But when you say, all right, we're going to go to the university, well, let's just say this, screw that. I just screw that. It's that. When you decide, when you have picks, when it's the NFL draft, it's free agency, you look at your roster and you say, all right, here's Kyle Pitts. We got Michael Pruitt. Both of those guys do two things well. Both of those guys, they can catch the ball. So what do I need? Kyle Pitts is not really a great blocker. He's an okay blocker, but I don't really want him, mixing it up with these defensive tackles and whatnot. I don't really want him mixing it up with these, edge guys. I don't really want him mixed up. So I'm thinking to myself as a general manager, as a coach, well, let's go get a tight end who can actually do these things. He's more of a blocker than he is a pass catcher, because we already got two pass catchers. We got two pass catchers and Kyle Pitts and Michael Pruitt. Both those guys can catch the ball. So what do? Well, I'm going to go to college and get the best damn blocker I possibly can. This is how these guys think. They're not thinking how we're going to get the player that can catch, block, run fast, and he's quick. No, because 9 times out of 10, if you're not getting these guys in the first round, with the first 5 picks, especially, these guys are only one-dimensional outside of the first rounds. So you get in the second, third, mid-rounds, the chances of getting a guy who can do all of those, catch the ball out of the backfield, run fast, run the routes, and be physical, chances are it's not going to happen. So you got to settle for one attribute, which is probably blocking. This is why they drafted a guy like John Fitzpatrick, because John Fitzpatrick was known in college to be a great blocker. So this is what these coaches are thinking. They don't think how we think. We're going to get the best player. He can catch, he can run, he can do all this. He's a part of a puzzle. He's a piece of a puzzle. He's a part of what this team can and cannot do. So a lot of people might scoff at a guy like Felipe Franks, but y'all don't know that Felipe Franks is actually has, when you talk about blocking, he's one of the better blocking tight ends, and this was put out by PFF. Now you can take PFF for what for what it is, but Felipe Franks actually has a high rank, a high score when it comes down to blocking. Yeah, it's true. It's damn true. Felipe Franks is actually one of the better blockers in the NFL. So don't just laugh at the name because he's not Jason Kelce or Travis Kelce, excuse me. Oh, he's not a Tony Gonzalez. He's not a Kyle Pitts. You want to laugh at him because he's not those guys. But these guys do their respective job the best of the best, or amongst the best. Everybody got a job, bro. What do you think about Fitzpatrick? He not progressing well. Well, he's been injured, and I put that in quotation marks. He's been quote unquote injured. A lot of teams like to say, all right, this guy got an ankle injury. We just gonna try to hire him on the injured resist, because if you put him on a practice squad, another team can come and scoop him up. So just my personal opinion, the Falcons hid him on the injury reserve list. He probably had a high ankle sprain, and they just been, saying that it hasn't improved the last couple of weeks just so they can keep him on the injury reserve list. This is something that the Patriots have been doing for years. A guy sprained his ankle, or he'll keep saying that his ankle isn't healed, and the team will end up hiding him on the injury reserve list. It happens all the time. That's how teams are able to hide draft picks and have to try to develop these guys. Because once you go onto the injury reserve list, it's up to, you can have these guys for about 5 to 6 weeks. So if you do that 2 times, the guy go to practice. If he come off of in reserve, goes to practice, and then quote unquote re-aggravate that injury, you can put him on IR again. So the Falcons did that a couple of times this year with quite a few players. It's just a tactic to keep young talent on your roster if you don't want to put these guys on injured reserve. I mean, if you don't want to put them on the practice squad, because put them on practice squad, another team can scoop those guys up. But John Fitzpatrick, he's a big body. He can get open, uses his hands well in the running game, but he's a pretty good pass catcher, has decent speed for a tight end. He can get open. But yeah, he's definitely a guy that you're going to be looking forward to in the future to make a contribution. He has really good chemistry with Desmond, so just keep an eye on that going into the preseason, maybe in the offseason, because I know Desmond likes to meet with his players in the offseason to kind of work out with those guys, similar to what Matt Ryan used to do. Desmond Ridder likes to do this. So you might want to keep an eye on John Fitzpatrick and how he works out with the team in the offseason. Cody Merck, how you doing? Kenneth Lewis, Demario Owens, how you doing? Tevon Turner, Antonio Holloway, how y'all? What they need to do is train and get more wins if they want to make it to the Super Bowl. That's what they wanted. I mean, Brian Peoples, Toxic Falcons, how y'all doing, Finn? I think one of the biggest misconceptions that really kind of agitates me is that people just assume players don't want to win. Not necessarily saying you guys are saying it, but it's like people assume because they don't have 4 catches for 40 yards or 2 touchdowns. You're assuming they don't work hard. Like we assume, Melvin, how you doing? We assume that these guys aren't working hard, that these guys aren't going off in the off season, working on their crafts. Like we assume that these guys aren't working hard, that they don't want to win because they don't have wins. Sometimes you're just not as good as other teams. Let me say this again. Sometimes you're not as good as other teams. We're not as good as the Carolina Panthers roster is right now. Yeah, we beat them. But if you look at their roster is a little bit better than ours. Bro, we playing with scrubs. It's just a testament to our good coaching that we're able to beat certain teams. Like I said, it's just a testament to our coaching staff. Because if you look at our roster, we don't have a roster like Carolina. We don't have a roster like Tampa Bay. We don't have a roster like the Saints. We don't have a roster like the 49ers. That's just being real. We need more talent. So it's not that the Falcons aren't trying to win. They're just not as good as other teams. We got to stop trying to see, the thing is, we try to say because the Falcons they don't have 10 wins a year, they're not trying, or they're underachieving. No, sometimes you're just not as good as the other team. Like I said, it's just a fact. Sometimes you just not as good as them. Sometimes other teams just have your numbers. Sometimes being at a stadium and at a dome, these guys are just, they fans are loud. The atmosphere plays, injuries plays a hand. So, like I said, man, it's like I don't think none of these guys aren't trying. I think it just comes down to the fact that, some teams are lucky, some teams are just better. And sometimes you just get a break. What do you think about grabbing one of these top college programs, defensive coordinators, and moving them to the NFL level like Jim Leonard of Wisconsin? I don't want nothing to do with no college guys. Nope, absolutely not. I do not believe in that. If you can show me an instance where that worked, then I'll be all for it. But it doesn't work. Do we got to bring up Steve Sarkisian again? Do we got to bring up Guys like who just quit another job. What the hell his name is? He left in the middle of the night. Bobby Petrino. We gotta, like, college guys give me the heebie-jeebies, bro. We just got Matt Rule, Carolina, bro. Like, I don't want nothing to do with these college guys. I don't want nothing to do with college guys. I don't want Kirby Smart here. I don't want, you look at perhaps the greatest college coach of all time, and Nick Saban, he failed. Like, I do not believe in college guys coming into the NFL and having success. The only college guy that actually came in the NFL in my, that I remember is Jim Harbaugh. That's it. He's like the only guy from college that has been in the NFL that is in college that I know that he at least have, he's had success. Jim Harbaugh is it. If it ain't Jim Harbaugh, you can kiss my natural, you know what. I don't. Jim Leonard, I think he's a safety, if I remember. I think Jim Leonard was a safety. Yeah, I think he was a safety. So he's a secondary guy. If I want anybody to come from college, he got to be a front seven guy. He got to be a D-line or a linebackers guy. I'm not dealing with those secondary guys, bro. Like I said, they just give me the heebie-jeebies talking about these things. Secondary guys. Because you got to remember, yeah, I just don't believe in college guys. Yeah, I would have to, somebody would have to come from college to. Could you see Arthur Smith grabbing Ryan Tannehill to be a bridge quarterback or backup to Ritter? It's been rumored that he wants to play for Arthur. To be a bridge quarterback. The bridge quarterback to what? The bridge quarterback is already done. We've already been through that process, so we don't need a bridge quarterback. And quite frankly, if we bring Tannehill here, I don't think it'd be good for Desmond Ritter's psyche. It's like, what you don't want is to have, like, you don't want to, at this point in time, playing Ritter, you want to protect his psyche at all costs. And it's just not even Ritter. This is any quarterback. You want to protect their psyche at all costs. You want to say, all right, it's your time to be a quarterback, but we're going to bring in one of my former guys, and we're going to pay him $4 to $7 million to quote-unquote be a backup. No, Ryan Tannehill ain't coming here to be a backup, just my opinion. How you doing, Sonya? Yeah, Ryan Tannehill is not coming here to be a backup. I just don't believe it. And I don't want no damn Ryan Tannehill. Purity ass. Like, that's just my opinion. I wouldn't mind him coming in for, like I said, my thing is, if he were to come here, Arthur Smith better let it be known that he's not the starter. And he's never going to be the starter. And he's coming here solely to be a backup. Because I'm done with the Marcus Mariota situation. Marcus quit. Let's just keep that real. Marcus quit. And how would I know so? I saw Kyle Pitts on the sideline. I haven't seen Marcus Mariota. Kyle Pitts just had a whole surgery, MCL surgery, but we can see him on the sideline. We've yet to see Marcus Mariota on the sideline. So I'm over these quote-unquote veteran quarterbacks who don't really want to be team players. You know what I'm saying? Like, the last time that really worked, well, the only time that worked for the Falcons was with Matt Shaw, with Matt Ryan. Matt knew what his job was. So if we were to bring Ryan Tannehill in, he has to know that he's going to be a backup. And this is Desmond Ritter's team. But I want to make this clear because I don't think I've ever said this. And it's probably shocked the hell out of people for me saying this. But I've yet to hear from Arthur Smith's mouth and Terry Fontenot's mouth that Desmond Ridder is the quarterback of the future. Now, if I'm wrong, I'll be wrong, but I have yet to hear them say to utter those exact words. Now, I know I don't open Pandora's box by saying this, but this is what we about. We about the truth over here. And anybody who thinks otherwise can kiss it where the sun don't shine. Until I hear those exact words that Desmond Ridder is the quarterback of the future. Now, I have heard him say that Desmond Ridder is our quarterback. But until I hear Desmond Ridder is the quarterback of the future, that I cannot dismiss that a Ryan Tannehill or any other quarterback will be with the Atlanta Falcons. I will say this. I don't see no damn Lamar Jackson being here for no $42 million. And like I said, we talking about that's the market value on Desmond Lamar Jackson. I don't see the Falcons paying $40 million for a quarterback. So if the Falcons decide that they want to upgrade the quarterback position with a guy that has more experience, then you can say, okay, all right, let's look at what Ryan Tannehill could quite possibly be. But he's yet to say, this is our quarterback. This is the same thing when we're talking about with Matt Ryan. He never said that Matt Ryan is here to stay. He never uttered those words. Matt Ryan is here to stay. He said over and over again, we're never going to try to put ourselves into a corner, back ourselves into a corner. So that led me to believe that even Matt Ryan wasn't safe. Even at 40, I think it's almost $50 million in dead cap hit. I think it was like 48 million or something like that. So until I hear those words, I'm never going to trust Arthur with any quarterback. Because Arthur is in here, he's here to make sure his team gets better. Pete Carroll was in college also. I think we all remember the USC days. Plus, Ryan Tannehill got a shitty ass attitude. I just don't. Dude, look, he just rubs me the wrong way. I am Jamil, Chris Brady. How y'all doing, bro? Cindy Estorga, how you doing? I'm laughing because I don't know if I butchered your name. I apologize. I'm terrible with names. Jamarius Lamar in Atlanta means making Atlanta broke again. And see, that's why I don't think the Falcons are even thinking about that. Bearded Beast, how you doing? Like like honestly, why I play? My thing is I just never understood. Maybe it's because how I am in real life. Like I learned this lesson, and stay with me with this. Try to stay with me with this. But I learned as a youngster. I got my first paycheck. I'll never remember this. I'll never forget this. I always remember this. But I got paid $126. And at the time, them Jumpman J's were out. Okay? Them Jumpman J's were out. And I just had to have them Jumpman J's. And I paid $106.17. Yeah, I remember the whole, look, I remember the amount and everything. $106.17. So I had $126 and I spent $100 of it on some shoes. Yeah, I had some fresh ass shoes and everybody, I was popular with everybody in school, but goddamn, I was broke as hell. I was broke as hell. I was fresh, and I had all eyes on me, but I had $20 left for the next couple of weeks to try to eat at school, try to get a couple of snacks or something. Yeah, I couldn't buy a new CD. No, I couldn't do none of that. All because I spent all damn near 90% of my paycheck on them damn Jumpmans. So why am I saying this? Well, why would I spend damn near half of our salary cap on one damn player when we need help on the defensive line, inside, outside, with the defensive tackles and the defensive ends, and we need help with the linebackers. We need another corner. We need another left guard. If Matt Hennessy isn't the answer, we need receivers. We need to upgrade the quarterback position. Like, we need all of this. Why in the hell would I do all that? Nah, bro. Not doing it. I'm not spending, and we're talking about the low end. That's just the market value is at $42 million for Lamar Jackson. Look, if a team is hesitating to sign a quarterback, it's for great reason. It's for great reason. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not even sure if Lamar even healthy, bro. He's not even playing right now, but we talking about bringing him in to Atlanta to play, and this guy wants to be the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. He's not coming here for no $42 million. He's looking for numbers closer to $50 million. And yeah, as far as Ryan Tannehill, yeah, he didn't even really want to help Malik Willis. So why would I bring a guy in like him, if he didn't even want to help the rookie, Marcus, Malik Willis, he didn't even want to help him. So we're going to bring him to sit behind Desmond Ritter. Yeah. And then we create, tension between those guys, because guess what? We know he not trying to help nobody. We know that for a fact. That came out of Ryan Tannehill's mouth there. I'm not here to coach nobody. I'm here to play. Yeah, I was fresh and broke. I ain't have nothing there. I was sitting at the lunch table eating, drinking a Fruitopia. That's it. Didn't have nothing to eat. But I had those fresh air J's on. Never again. I learned my lesson. I learned my lesson then, bro. But most of our money is gonna go to re-signing our own talent. And that's the thing. What people don't get. About 60% of that money is gonna go into re-sign our own talent. Yeah, we can do a few things here and there as far as the salary cap is concerned, restructuring some things. Like you could quite possibly do that, but they're still gonna have to re-sign our players. It's been reported that Lamar wants a fully guaranteed contract like Watson got from... Oh, he's smoking crack. I'm sorry. That motherfucker smoking crack, bro. Lamar on that Chris act. He on heroin or crack or one of them. You out your damn mind. A fully guaranteed, man? Please. Shit. Ain't no way in hell I do that. He can kiss my... Ooh, Lord, no. I hope not. I hope he... Bro, a mobile quarterback that stays hurt all the time wants a fully guaranteed... Bro, you don't get out of here with that nonsense. I throw a damn shoe at him. He walking my damn door with that bullshit. Talking about he want a fully get... Lamar Jackson want a fully get... Boy, please. You crazy as hell. You have lost your buckets. That is insane. No freaking way. Lamar wants a fully guaranteed cut. I hope that's not true. Because dude crazy if he's... A fully guaranteed. So would you guys trade... This is a question I have for you Falcons fans. Would you trade for Lamar Jackson and give him a fully guaranteed contract? Yes or no? Is he worth that type of money? Ain't no freaking way. Heck no, bro. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that's what he looking for. I see why he ain't signed. See, I don't know the logistics behind that situation, but if that's the case, heck no. Bro, you out of your freaking mind. Cause we like Lee 85, how you doing, bro? Renzo Carter, Evans, like we got a lot of players that we need to bring back, but yeah. See, I didn't know that about Lamar. I thought it was just a few numbers, but if he's looking for guaranteed, like he's smoking that Kyrie, bro. Or you smoking that Pookie, one of the two. Well, you done lost your mind. Fully guaranteed. For you? Motherfucker, your ankles can't even stay intact, and you up here talking about fully guaranteed. The hell? If Lamar gets that deal, he's going to find out real soon when he has lesser talent around. I mean, see, that's something that, like, if you listen to a lot of these quarterbacks that's on a lot of these quarterbacks that are actually on these shows, like Mike Vick said the same thing. He said, I wouldn't even touch these big contracts like this anymore. Because when you sign that contract, you put the franchise behind the 8 ball as far as the types of talent you can bring in. You can no longer bring in talent because most of that money has been allocated towards you. And that's why, like, Mike Vick is telling these guys this type of stuff. We talk about Mike Vick he was the first quarterback to ever get $100 million contract. So if he's telling you this, don't take these mega deals like that, maybe you should listen. This is the reason why I say I don't believe in paying quarterbacks that much money. I would much rather keep drafting a guy like a Desmond Ridder, 2nd round, 3rd round, teach him the fundamentals, build a defense, build a running game, and do exactly what the 49ers are doing. The 49ers been, like I said, the 49ers been doing this for years. Baltimore Ravens been doing it for years. Build a defense, build an offense, and then, once those quarterbacks get past that rookie contract and they want the outlandish deals, yeah, let them go. Bye. I'm not paying any quarterback no $40 million no more. You crazy as hell. I'm not doing it. I am not paying a quarterback $40 million no more. I'm not doing it. It's just not worth it. You can't build a team if you got a quarterback that's making $50 million, dang near $50 million a year. So absolutely not. So tonight, guys, Dirty Bird Thursday with Ron, Blackberry, Big Ant, Coach Will. You may get an appearance for Miss Maggie. She might come in for a few minutes. Hell, I might show in for a few minutes. But 30 Bird Thursdays, all right? We'll have that show for you guys. Ty, Night Rider, tonight, 6 o'clock. But yeah, like I said, Lamar gon' see, and this is the reason why. Like I said, I've said it before. I just don't believe in paying any quarterbacks. I would much rather build a cap-friendly team than pay a superstar $50 million or even $40 million. I'm not even doing that. I'm not signing no damn quarterback to no $50 million contract. I'm not doing that again. Because we saw even here with Matt Ryan, and I love Matt Ryan, but I'm not paying for no damn $40 million. I'm not paying him no damn $40 plus million, and we can't build a damn defense anymore. Heck no, I'm not doing that. You crazy? I'm not going through that again because it leads to other problems. You got to restructure contracts and then try to figure out where I'm going to get this money. And then you keeping an old guy that's been hurt for the last 2 years, a.k.a. Julio Jones. He's damaged goods, and we don't know he's damaged goods. And next thing you know, you got to trade him away. And then next thing you know with that, you took a $30 million, $20 million cap hit because you had to get rid of an old guy that's no longer an asset to the team. Yeah, I'm not doing it. Sign his contract to a good enough deal They can make a couple of, a couple of meals, let that be it. But heck no, I'm not doing that. You crazy as hell. They ain't been to a Super Bowl. This son of a gun up here asking for fully guaranteed. Boy, I'm baffled. Boy, I am perturbed. Okay. This fully guaranteed? Bro, you ain't played 16 games, 17 games yet. You've been hurt the last couple years. Why am I paying you a fully guaranteed contract? The heck? So like I said, man, you gotta check us out later on tonight, man. Let me say this again, because I don't think I said it where people could hear. I want to repeat this. Please, people, watch the goddamn video, and excuse my language, but watch the damn video before you accuse somebody of hating. Watch the damn video. Read if you can, but it is okay to listen. Nothing pisses a content creator off more than not listening to the damn content that's free. Somebody left a comment on one of the videos, and like I said, it was obvious clickbait. It's obvious. Falcons fans will never support Desmond Ridder. It's obvious clickbait. It was designed to evoke some type of emotion. But if you would have actually listened to the content, you would have knew in what context it was meant. And we talking about, like I said, we talking about not even 9-10 minutes into the video, you would have just listened to it. People, please listen to it. That's all I ask. Just listen to the damn video. Just fucking listen. It's okay to listen. And that's, like I said, that's all I got to say about that, man. I appreciate it. Just take the time out to listen to what we're saying. Listen to the video and listen to the video and listen to it. Don't just look at the don't just look at the damn title and make a comment based on the title. Listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth. All right, so at the end of the day, I appreciate y'all for joining me. I'm out of here, man. Peace.